Well, Australia's online shopping boom shows no signs of slowing down despite the tough economic times. New figures show online shopping is growing faster than population in many parts of Australia. But are deliveries keeping pace? And how can you make sure that your items arrive securely and on time? This is me. I do all of my shopping online. So here to talk to us about this more, Jessica Ip from parcel delivery company Couriers Please and Brian Walker from the Retail Doctor Group. Welcome to you both. Thanks for coming in. So Jessica, are there certain areas where online shopping is doing really well or better than others?
Yeah, definitely. So recently we conducted an independent survey and we found some interesting facts where in some areas of Australia that online shopping was actually exceeding population growth. So for example, in Perth, we found that there was a 12% increase in online shopping where population was actually still at 6.44%.
Wow.
Sydney was very similar. We had double the amount of growth on online shopping versus population growth, and closely followed by Canberra as well.
It's interesting that if you look at, say, Sydney is the biggest city of those four that has the most shopping opportunities, I suppose, and yet this is where people are doing their online shopping. Do we know what people are mostly buying online?
Yeah, I think everyone's buying all sorts of fun things online. So in terms of our respondents, what they've indicated is 41% of them are buying fashion goods, so that's shoes, clothing and accessories. We also found that tech gadgets are also very popular, so laptops, mobile devices, computers, and that also then extends to books, DVDs also, and stationery.
Okay, Brian, we've talked about this a lot before and on this very program. Are department stores, shopping centres under threat?
Online retail in Australia is just short of $30 billion, so it's about 10%, Monique, of overall retail sales. But in that middle ground where department stores live and middle ground of shopping centres live, no doubt they're under pressure, as online, and pointed out in this survey, is growing at double-digit rates.
Right.
So up to 15% year-on-year growth. Physical store retail, 2, 3, 4%, depending on the category.
So what has online shopping done then to how service is delivered? You know, does it mean that there is less money that's being put into retail stores and therefore people have a worse experience and don't want to go there, or the opposite?
There's no doubt that online retail has contributed to growing the pie slightly. So there's some cannibalisation in certain sectors. And what retailers are talking about increasingly is this whole fulfilment distribution cycle. In the US, for example, Amazon's Prime delivered 5 billion parcels in 2017. So we're seeing this thing called fulfilment as a big item on the retailer agenda.
Yeah, okay. One thing about online shopping is if it's a pain when you're waiting for it to be delivered, or you've said that they can deliver it without somebody there and yet they don't, and then you get the message that they've got to come back another time, this is where it sort of falls down. You apparently have some tips, Jessica, for how you can make sure that you get your stuff to your door.
Yeah, so we know logistics is not perfect, so we always recommend just 5 handy tips to remember. So the first thing is, if you know you're not going to be home, then you can give your delivery driver the authority to leave.
Some don't give you that ability though.
Yeah, I think in terms of it, depending on the provider as well, and your retailer and what they offer, but essentially if that option is available, then authority to leave in a safe place if possible is the first thing we would recommend. Secondly, then in terms of if you have a friendly neighbour that you know is going to be home, you can redirect those parcels with your permission to your neighbour to receive. And also rescheduling it to a better time that's more convenient for you to collect your parcel.
Yep.
A different address also.
Yep. And choose a convenient collection point.
And I think I might add that GPS tracking now allows a lot of us to track our item all the way through. So that's another feature of it.
Yeah, that can become quite an obsession. You go, but it says it's less mascot, but it's not here. It takes half an hour to get from mascot.
Exactly.
All right, Brian, Jessica, thank you.
Hi, I'm Brian Walker, CEO and founder of Retail Doctor Group. To succeed in today's fast-paced change of retail, talk with us or visit retaildoctor.com.au.